I'm just hanging out with my nephew, celebrating his birthday. Actually, his birthday was in November, but I'm just taking him out to dinner, and I got him. He's a big cologne person, so I got him some cologne. Hope he likes it. Anyway, we're gonna meet at the King side, which is not one of my favorite restaurants. I ended up getting the New York strip, steak with shrimp and macaroni and cheese, and sweet potato tots, and Moscato wine. So it was really good, delicious. We just had a great time. Here are just a couple of shots of St. Louis Central West End. They're really Christmassy. It's beautiful lights and Christmas decor. This is a beautiful park. This is Lafayette Park. Is one of the oldest parks in St. Louis. I don't make it out here very often, but you know, I just always enjoy it. It's just nostalgic for me. I didn't want to talk too long. There's one of the current topics right now. Tracy Edmonds and Deion Sanders, they broke up after so many years. I think over 12 years of dating, and everyone's really down on her, you know, just kind of saying, you know, how she allowed herself to stay with him for so many years. And it's just interesting. You know, I've been working as a medical social worker for many years. It's been well over 15 years, going into 16 years now. And in the last few years, probably in the last 6 years, I've worked with people who were in the last stages of their lives. So I've been afforded the sacred opportunity, I would coin it that, because it is truly sacred when people share their lives and their information with you. But just observing relationships and marriages and situationships in people's last chapters of their lives. And I think it is just really see so many different relationships, so many types of, you know, relationships and connections. And unfortunately, I've seen relationships and marriages that where people were so comforting to their mates. And I'm not just saying you know, usually you think of that as men or women being comforting and taking care of and standing with their women standing with their husbands. But I've seen the opposite also. I've seen people, you know, men take really good care of their wives and love them, you know, to the very bitter end, and or the peaceful end in some cases. And then I've seen the opposite, where people are actually, they are ready to divorce, you know, in the midst of a person's storm. All types of situations. I've seen people divorce and get back together when they, you know, both were sick and needed to take care of each other. Of course, you know, because of HIPAA, I can't give everything that I say. I don't give specifics, but to know that, you know, there are people that abandon people when they were sick. You know, I mean, literally abandon ship, where they have no one. I've just seen a lot of different situations, you know, and marriages in their last stages, in their last chapters, when one passes on, or sometimes both can be sick or have been sick. So I say all that to say that, you know, we just never know. We don't know. That's a personal thing. If you're able to know or get a glimpse of it, it's sacred, because every person have their own story. They walk their own journey. And who are we to judge? You know, and I was thinking about, you know, as I mentioned earlier, Tracy and Deion Sanders' relationship. I personally have dated someone long distance. Remember, they were long distance relationship. And I understand of course, I'm not a millionaire. Tracy Edmonds is a millionaire. As a matter of fact, she's wealthier. I looked up her information. She's actually wealthier than Deion Sanders is. So, you know, and then she has kids. She has children that she still, you know, there's young adults now, I believe, but still, you know, in the midst of that relationship, she had to handle her business, you know. So, You just never know. And then you have to consider too that Deion Sanders, when you get older, as you age, I believe that when it comes to, you don't romanticize about things. When you're young, you can romanticize, you have your whole life in front of you. But when you get towards your middle age and you become an older adult, you kind of have a different perspective about relationships and marriage and, connections, period. So there are so many factors to consider. You're not, like I said, you're not as romantic. So, you never know. I'm saying all this to say, you really don't know what people face in their relationships and the reasons for their divorce. It could have been several factors. It could have been her. People just assume that, he just not a good person. Now, I understand that he is with a younger lady now. But, it could have been a situation where she just really was not all 100 into the relationship. People are just we're all so different, right? And there's so many factors that we consider as we get older, especially as women. I think as we get older, some of us have great sexual drive and some of us have more of a struggle with that. That plays a factor. And I think that as you get older, your stability and your security becomes more important. Your finances become more important. And it's different for each person. Maybe for some.
I just wanted to interject here and just give more clarity to what I'm trying to say. I was a little bit bundled up there. But I think what I'm trying to say is that my peace of mind, my financial stability, my faith, my health, things like that have become greater priorities.
But every part, what I'm getting at is that everyone is so different. It depends on their journey, depends on their experiences, depends on their outlook, depends on their customs, their nature, their whatever, their goals. It depends on what matters to them. And maybe, just maybe it was Tracy that really did not want the relationship anymore. Maybe he needed something different than what he was getting out of Tracy. Maybe she needed something different than what she was getting out of him. Who knows? It's their relationship. And whatever they want to share, it's sacred. So we have to be respectful of that, but don't assume anything because you don't really know. And again, matured relationships are different than younger people. You have, and that's not even always the truth because some people are young, they're very ahead of their time. They're very, very, they look at things differently too. But I'm just saying, from my perspective and my experience, your priorities change as you age. Okay? And it could have just been the two of them have different priorities. So, I don't know. Just like I said, I don't know her personally. I have nothing. I don't have a dog in this fight. There's nothing I'm gaining. I'm not, on one side or the other because I don't know neither one of them. Hope to wish the best for them as they, part in their separate ways. But I just wanted to say that, and another thing I want to say too is that having children or getting married is not always the end goal in every relationship. Like I said, I was in a long distant relationship for over a decade. But during that time, I was also a caregiver. And this person actually asked me to marry them at one point. And I declined because I was not going to leave my mother. I was her caregiver. I was there with her, Now, he wasn't going to leave because, he had children still that he had to raise. So it was just not the right situation. But then I look back and we're still friends today. Sometimes friendships outlast romantic relationships, seriously. To maintain a good friendship, and we're friends, we're still friends, We haven't seen each other in years, but we'll talk on the phone, he'll call me and joke, we have the same running joke, But I look back and I'm like, I don't have any regret. It wasn't because he wasn't a good person and a decent guy, good guy, or I wasn't a decent woman. When everything is said and done, you never know the intimacy of other people's relationships. You don't really know everything that goes on. You don't know. So I can say again, probably repeat myself, but I'll say it anyway. You know, we just, as you age, your priorities are different. Your life is, you're more of a realist. You're not as romantic. Doesn't mean that you're not a romantic person. If that's the essence of you, it is. But your decisions are not emotional. You are more pragmatic. You may be emotional. You may be all those things. But when it comes to making those decisions in your life, you are more grounded when you make those final decisions and final calls. Find out what works, what matters to you, what's important to you can be different for someone else. All different, you know. So anyway, yeah. So that's what I'll say about that. And grab.
Here I just do a little bit more rambling, but basically I'm just talking about how I'm going to go to Soulard Market and grab some produce, and then afterwards I'm going to clean my car.
I'll go and get my car cleaned out. I'll tell you about that. My brother, it's so funny, my brother gave me a refrigerator, and I'm just now, it's like a little mini refrigerator he gave me. It's really nice. It's almost new, brand new. I'm like, oh, it's a great, thank you. I can take it to work and have it at work. And it was so ideal, you know, how things look good on paper. And so that thing has been sitting in the back of my seat for, I'm too embarrassed to tell you how long. But I finally had a day, you know, I'm off this weekend. And I was finally able to go in to my job and take my refrigerator out of my back seat. I had to go and get a cart. It was just it was a fiasco, but I got it done. So it's out of my car, so I can really, really clean my car with a good conscience.
Hi, what is it?
Hello. Most of the vendors are closed by now, but it's fun to kind of look at the area where they're just selling items, and I'll walk over to the produce side in a minute. You never know what you're gonna find. Just found a ring for $1.
Then I stopped at the Soulard Market's like eatery, and they actually cook a lot of really good food, Cajun types of foods. I ended up just getting a pineapple mocktail. I was so tempted to get some jambalaya, but I had already eaten lunch earlier that day, so that was out. And then there's the spice shop. This is one of my favorite places to go to get spices. They're on COVID lockdown still, so you have to kind of purchase everything from their window. I like to browse, so I didn't really purchase anything, but it's really a nice place. It is very inexpensive, and they have a variety of spices and what have you.
Steamers soccer stadium. It's not too new. I mean, it happened during COVID. I think they built it. They completed it. Anyway, just wanted to show you. I love all of the different Christmas decorations. It's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this weekend Vlogmas up. I was a little bit run down by Sunday, and so not much more that I wanted to record, but thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for my upcoming videos. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye, and thanks for watching.
Soulard Market has been here